Morning, guys. It's 5:17 in the morning. We're about to go on a fun ride on Orcas Island. We're on the San Juan Island right now. I'm starting the vlog. We have to take a ferry, so Pat's waking up. We're early birds. We're going early because we don't have power on our trikes. We're hoofing it like real men. All right, Pat, you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
It's gonna be a fun day.
It's gonna be a day.
Really? How you feeling, Mel? Human, kind of?
Human with lots of fingers on, yes.
Pat, your helmet is way more impressive at night. That triangle's pretty cool. First in line. My mom would be so proud. Morning. How are you? Good. Thanks.
Hey, where, is any? Oh yeah.
Oh, see, I thought that was right. I thought that was right. Yeah, I got it. They're like, where are these guys going? I have a feeling that it's going to be like this for a while. Pat says it's going to be like this all day. Windy, windy, windy. We're cycling around Orcas Island. It's not that long, it's like 18 miles, I guess. But we're going to ride up Mount Constitution, and everybody's telling me that it's going to be pretty hectic. It'll be fun. But we're going to be riding all day. By the time we come back on this ferry at the end of the day, it'll be about the same level of darkness in the sky. So it's going to be an entire day of riding. Jayoe. What do you think, Pat? You'd like that house? Would you be comfortable with the solitude of living on an island?
You know, for a while, I think I would get bored.
Yeah.
The riding would suck.
Yeah.
But there's other things you could do.
Yeah. That's a small house, so that's like a little. That's just like a little.
I think enough. Those houses back there would be enough.
Like a house ain't getting robbed.
Yeah. It costs more in gas to get all the way.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, then you get to the ferry, and there's probably cameras recording everybody.
Right, in and out. And they probably know, they're like, that's Bill again.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm bored. I just steal from my neighbors. I got nothing else to do. Seems to me we can live our lives on a ferry in the wind. Mel was saying that there were times when this thing would go and they would transport cattle and stuff to and from the islands, that sometimes the cows would jump off the ferry. Oops, we lost one.
started here, and then we wound our way up right there. We're gonna go into town, curve around, and I guess right here we're gonna carve off and start going up. And at this point, we're gonna go up to the Mount Constitution, which, if you can see it, Mount Constitution are those towers way off in the distance. Looks close. I don't think it is. Oops, you missed the golf course.
We're gonna start G-Tog. We missed it. Shit.
Well, I forgot my 9-iron anyway. All right, we are at the quarter point. Halfway through to the mountain, but a quarter way through the day's ride. And now we're gonna stop and grab a cup of coffee. Perfect. It's a beautiful island out there. Holy moly. Gorgeous. Got a coffee, got friends. I've got a nice view. It's a little chilly, but I think it's good. I mean, it's a perfect amount of chill, but it's a little chilly. It's funny that I'm driving an Azub, and this is like a cat trike trip, and I've got like I've got a lot of logos there. I got Recumbent PDX, I got Terracycle, I got a Jayoe, and Azub. It's a big sort of happy family.
Are you a YouTuber or something with sponsors?
yeah, I'm like the NASCAR driver of Trikes, F1. All right, back on the road. I wanted to ask you, do you remember when I sent you an email about an idea I had while I was cycling around China for buffs, but that had HEPA filters like sewn in? Do you remember that? If I would have developed that idea, I had just enough time. I always thought it was a waste because I was cycling through China and it was all dusty. Yeah. And I'm like, these buffs are nice, but if you could have a little pocket you could stick in a HEPA filter. Missed opportunities. Missed opportunities. People harp on me a lot because they think maybe I've become a anti-Western or, you know, anti-American or something. And there are some truth to that in the aspect that I've grown to realize that there are some things that are done better outside of America than inside of America. You know, and then there's also some beauty and some things that are done in America that are particularly wonderful and interesting. Measurements are not that. The metric system is so perfect from the larger distances to the smaller distances. Because, for example, I'm thinking about like the longer distances, kilometers to miles. Well, miles are a lot longer than kilometers, obviously. And when you're doing a long trip, when you break it into miles, sometimes it gets a little daunting. When you break it into kilometers, you see the numbers ticking off. And you're like, I'm making progress. But I've found a lot of times, especially when you're running, you can kind of tick off those kilometers and it feels like, okay, Jayoe. But miles sometimes feels like a slog between miles. I guess you could fix that by breaking it into half miles and stuff, but I just love the compartmentability of kilometers. I also love the fact that you can break meters, centimeters, millimeters, kilometers. They all fit together very, very cleanly. Inches, feet, miles. It's all haphazard. But also when you get down into the combination or comparison of meters to feet. For example, we are going uphill now, and I think Mount Constitution here has a peak of, let's see here, 732 meters. And for me, 732 meters, when you're going uphill, it's just long enough to where it pushes you forward. Feet, like everybody here was talking about how many feet it is, and I was thinking that sounds like a lot, but when you break it into meters, I like that the meters are a little obviously longer than feet, and so when you're rising up, you're like boom, you can hit those. Every meter you chunk off feels like an accomplishment, but every foot, it's so frequent that it doesn't give you enough of a boom, 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 you know? I just find the metric system to be so nice. As far as I was talking about Pat earlier, man, I had that idea because I was riding across dirty roads in China, and those trucks were picking up so much dust, and I was putting this over my mouth, but I was still kind of getting particles through there because it was really fine dust. And I was thinking to myself, if you could put an insert pocket, maybe Velcro, maybe something. I had sketched it out, and in my book, I put a date on it. I called Pat. I asked him his opinion. Pat and I have been friends for a long time. I used to throw ideas back and forth to him while I was on the road, and this was one of them. And I was like, I think this could really work. And it was perfect timing, because if I had started developing that idea, I think it was about 4 or 5, maybe 6 years before COVID, I could have established the market, gotten some, you know, merchandising, gotten the manufacturing methods down, improved it through versions. Man, I would have been right in time to accommodate the mask craze. And you know, when you're wearing a buff like this, it doesn't necessarily, you know, give you the same feeling as a medical mask, but you could create a buff, and it would probably be a better seal than most people would wearing those surgical masks and stuff, you know, because the buff wraps around your whole head. Real missed opportunity. I didn't even think about it until I was hanging out with Pat, and I remembered that conversation. I remembered that idea. How many ideas do we have, all of us? They pass in our brain, but we deem them too much, or it's time in our life where we can't do it, or financially it doesn't make sense, or we just think about the impossibility of it instead of the possibility. And if you follow that leg of that multiversal, you know, multidimensional, you know, sometimes I think, like, if you made that choice, there would be another fork in the road. Another reality would be created, one where you push forward and achieved great success with a novel idea. Instead, you followed this, and you know, we are destined for whatever path we push forward on. But I am certain that there are many ideas I've had in my head that would have pushed my life in a completely different direction. Many of those wouldn't be bad. In fact, they might have been awesome. I can't say better or worse, because who knows? Maybe it would have been worse even with success, or maybe it would have been a tragedy but taught me a lesson. Who knows? You can't live life in too much regret for any decision, but it is what it is. Anyways, circling around, we're working up this vertical incline. Right now it's 8%. I think we're going to be meandering around 6 to 15% for the next few hours. Got about 4 kilometers an hour, and it's about 7 kilometers to the top. So a couple hours, 3 hours of hoofing it, and we'll be at the top of Mount Constitution. I'm not sure how many updates I'll do, but I do miss talking to you guys via my lens into the community of YouTube. Hello. Only a fella with some years on the ticker says I lost some ibuprofen out of my cargo pocket pants.
Yesterday it was fine, but today I lost them.
We're the early boat. We took the early ferry. I think the second group is on the later ferry, and I think they just probably pulled up and embarked on their journey to climb the mountain. So they all have motors though, so they're going a lot faster. We're all fully human powered, so we are much slower. Except for one of us here. We've got one of the guys, Charlie. He has a motor. I think he's probably just making sure we're all right, and he's just kind of tooling around while we break our legs. But it feels good. It feels good. I'm happy. I'm happy with it. So we have a brief, beautiful ride along the lake before the incline starts, and then we'll be headed up and up. Beautiful day for windsurfing. I think if you had a board, this would be a great day to put the sail up and pull you around the lake. All right, this is the top. Let's see if there's a nice view. It's the top of the road. I think there's a little short path that you take after this. That's it. We are here, 730 meters up. Oh yeah, I'm gonna eat some food because I am hungry. Okay, let's get up to the top and accomplish this goal. I think there's a triathlon, which is ending here at the summit, so you're getting some scragglers in for the triathlon. So over there are the radio towers that we saw earlier, and then there's the view. Pretty beautiful. That out there is Mount Baker, and that picturesque sound of the Canadian goose is very rhythmic, soothing, you know, shows the power of nature in the absence of technology. I think he's signaling for a mate. The mating call of the Canadian goose. Who will answer the call? Oh, somebody must have answered the call. Can't get a better view than this. All the way around. Actually, I think I could see the other islands from here on the other side. Everybody, I guess, from Seattle who's got some money enough to get a boat likes to bring their nice boats out here and island hop. I'm always looking at interesting van ideas on how they load the back doors, and I saw this Sprinter and I wanted to check it out because they have 4 bicycles, and I could theoretically see myself carrying like the trike up here and 2 bicycles, you know, like if I wanted to take Eva and Annie, we could have their bikes here and then have the trike up at the top, which would be cool. The owner of the van came out and sat down and talked with me a little bit. I was actually sort of concerned about the weight on the hinges of the door, but it seems like it doesn't affect the door very much. Not at all, as a matter of fact. So very, very happy to hear that. And he has a lot of load. He has a storage box, and he has a spare tire, and he has 2 bikes on the top over the rack. Actually, it would be really nice to put a trike up above, crossing that horizontally. I was thinking about going vertically.
Made it.
Your knee, right?
Yeah. Well, Leslie gave me some vitamin I, so I'm.
What is that?
Ibuprofen.
Oh, vitamin I.
I'll be all right now.
Yeah.
My knees swell up.
Does it go down over some period of time, or will you have to deal with it on the way back down? Typically.
I'll need to be ginger with my knees on the uphills.
Yeah. So Mel has cameras on every trike. Front, back,
Forward facing.
selfie cameras. They're under, they're over, they're everywhere. And he has every single camera synced up to each other. So you can get, how many cameras you got, Mel? Hold fingers up. 30? About 30? And you show a barcode and it can sync up? That's crazy. All right, everybody's gathered together. We've taken our pictures. Cameras are synced. Drones are battery powered. We're gonna ride down this hill. That's the goal.
We ready?
We ready?
One more thing. We can pass each other through interesting things. Just do it in a way that you feel safe.
All right. We're going.
All right, we are at the ferry terminal. We have officially finished the tour. We are headed to the hopefully the dinner spot. Yep, there they are, right there.
Your destination is on the left.
I know. Thank you. Well, it was probably the best spot. Something is playing around out there. Oh, it's a seal. I can see his head. Beautiful day. Yeah, it was a very nice day. Tomorrow will be a easier day. We're on an island called Lopez. We'll do that tomorrow. I'm gonna end the vlog now. It's more than enough content to satiate. We're gonna take a ferry. I'm just gonna relax on the ferry until we get back in the darkness, and I can go to bed. It was a fun day. Bye. All right, guys, we are going to continue this episode slightly. We are all stuck on Orcas Island. Our ferry has been canceled, the one that we were supposed to take. Apparently, there's a labor shortage, and there's just no staff to staff the ferry. So we were supposed to be on the ferry like at 7:30 or something, and it is 10 o'clock, and there's still another 40 minutes before they were able to kind of get somebody out here to pick us up and take us to Friday Harbor, which is where our hotel is. So when that ferry comes, we're all sort of hanging out, drinking some beers, kind of trying to make the best of it. But yeah, we will all be on the ferry eventually. Alright guys, we have arrived at Friday Harbor. We got one more hill, but I'm going to officially really end the vlog now. I think tomorrow's plans are going to change because it's been so late. It is 11:30. By the time we get to the hotel, it'll be past midnight, I think. That's an awesome shot. That's great. Was that shot worth it? I think that shot was worth it.